The #1 engine killer in Ram trucks can be prevented with a $60 oil change. Dealers charge $400 for the same service, and they still will not tell you the actual fix. These are 17 forbidden tricks for your Ram that save thousands in repairs, add free horsepower, and unlock features you already paid for. Number 1. The $60 lifter saver. That ticking sound some Hemis develop is roller lifter bearings collapsing inside the engine block. Metal shrapnel floats through the oil system, grinding away at everything it touches. By the time that tick starts coming from under the hood, the repair bill is already sitting between $3,000 and $7,000. About 5% of all Hemi engines will experience this failure at some point. The Hemi block does not have dedicated oil galleries feeding the lifter bores like other V8 engines do. Oil reaches the camshaft mostly through splash lubrication, which works fine at highway speeds, but falls short during idle and low RPM city driving. The fix requires basic supplies from any auto parts store. Use full synthetic 5W20 or 5W30 oil, and change it every 5,000 miles, not 10,000 like the oil life monitor suggests. Add a 16-ounce bottle of Lubigard Biotech at each change for under $15. Install a magnetic drain plug to catch metal particles early. That $60 oil change just became the best insurance against a catastrophic engine failure. But even perfect oil changes cannot catch everything happening inside the Hemi engine block. Number 2. The $30 early warning system. Blackstone Labs will analyze used engine oil for $30 per sample. Mail them a small bottle at each oil change, and they track iron, copper, and lead content over time inside the Hemi. Rising iron levels in the oil analysis report signal cam and lifter wear months before any tick develops, or a check engine light appears on the dashboard. One Ram owner on the forums caught a failing lifter at 40,000 miles because his iron levels spiked on the Blackstone report. His repair bill came to $2,000. Waiting until the engine started knocking would have cost him $7,000. $30 to potentially save $5,000. That math works out pretty well. Now let's talk about another fluid the dealer is lying about. Number 3. The lifetime fluid lie. The Ram's ZF 8-speed transmission is marketed with lifetime fluid. Sounds convenient until you learn what Stellantis actually means by lifetime. Internally, they define lifetime as approximately 100,000 miles. After that, they figure most owners will trade in for a new truck anyway. Meanwhile, ZF, the German company that engineers and builds the transmission, recommends fluid changes every 50 to 75,000 miles. The service requires replacing the entire integrated pan and filter assembly inside the transmission. Dealers charge $800 to $1,500 for this job. The do-it-yourself cost with aftermarket parts runs about $150. That's $1,000 saved on a service the manufacturer pretends doesn't exist. And speaking of things dealers overcharge for, this next one is even worse. Number 4. The $50 dealer replacement. Dealers charge $400 or more for programming changes that take them 30 seconds with their shop computer. Adjusting the tire pressure monitor threshold after installing larger tires, correcting the speedometer reading for new tire sizes, enabling fog lights to stay on with high beams, all of these settings are locked behind dealer software. Or at least they used to be locked inside the service bay. 2 smartphone apps called Alpha OBD and JScan now give Ram owners access to the same dealer-level programming. Alpha OBD costs about $50, plus a $70 to $140 Bluetooth OBD adapter. JScan costs about $20 per vehicle. For Rams built after 2018, a $15 to $50 security gateway bypass cable is also needed. With these tools sitting in the glove box, owners can adjust tire pressure monitor thresholds, correct speedometer calibration, enable remote start on base tradesman trims, activate backup cameras, adjust throttle response sensitivity, and access over 20 other settings the dealer charges hundreds to change. A $400 programming visit becomes a free 10-minute job in the driveway. This next trick is actually buried in the owner's manual, and almost nobody knows about it. Number 5. The hidden octane recommendation. The fuel section in the Ram owner's manual recommends 89 octane. for the 5.7-liter Hemi for optimum performance and fuel economy, not 87 like most owners have been pumping at the gas station. Multiple owners on the Ram forums have documented 1 to 2 miles per gallon improvement when switching from 87 to 89 octane. On a 30-gallon tank, that translates to 40 to 50 extra miles of driving range before the next fill-up. The Hemi's NOx sensors pull timing on lower octane fuel to prevent engine detonation. Higher octane lets the engine computer run full spark advance, which improves both power output and fuel efficiency at the same time. That $5 to $8 premium per fill-up typically pays for itself in extended mileage. Now let's get into something more controversial about the Hemi engine. Number 6. The MDS debate. The multi-displacement system, or MDS, shuts down 4 of 8 cylinders during highway cruising to save fuel. It sounds efficient on paper, and MDS can genuinely save 1 to 2 miles per gallon on long highway drives. But there is a heated debate in the Ram community about whether MDS contributes to those lifter failures mentioned earlier. The honest answer from mechanics who have rebuilt these Hemi engines is this. Trucks without MDS also experience lifter failures, so the cylinder deactivation system clearly is not the only cause. But the constant cycling of those MDS solenoids inside the engine does add mechanical stress that some owners want to eliminate completely. Disabling MDS through a handheld tuner costs $350 to $500, and it removes cylinder deactivation while keeping the original lifters in place. A full mechanical MDS delete with a non-MDS camshaft and standard lifters runs $2,000 to $4,000 installed, and it eliminates the problematic components entirely. Trucks that run mostly highway miles and that have smooth MDS operation are probably fine leaving the system alone. Heavy towing or a lot of city driving with constant MDS cycling on and off makes disabling it worth considering. Speaking of towing, this next trick is a $30 upgrade that drops transmission temps by 40 degrees. Number 7. The $30 towing upgrade. Ram trucks towing trailers run transmission temperatures hotter than necessary. The factory transmission thermostat keeps fluid at operating temperature, which sounds logical until you realize it actually restricts flow to the cooler when maximum cooling capacity is needed most. A $30 brass fitting called the Caulk 04 bypass replaces that restrictive thermostat and lets the transmission cooler work unrestricted. Owners on towing forums report temperatures dropping from dangerous levels down to 145 to 165 degrees Fahrenheit while pulling heavy loads. That's a 40-degree improvement for the price of a large pizza. For even more cooling capacity, the factory 1-ton Ram transmission cooler bolts directly into 1,500 trucks as a quick 15-minute upgrade. All right, now let's shift gears and talk about adding some power to the Hemi. Number 8. The bolt-on horsepower king. Every Ram performance forum agrees on this one. Headers deliver the single biggest horsepower gain per dollar of any bolt-on modification available. The AFE Twisted Steel Shorty headers for 2019 and newer Rams produce a documented 37 horsepower and 58 pound-feet of torque gain on a completely stock engine. They cost $800 to $1,100, and they retain the factory catalytic converters with no exhaust cutting required. For 4th-generation trucks, the equivalent AFE headers add about 11 horsepower and 19 pound-feet of torque, which is still solid for a single bolt-on part. Long tube headers from JBA or Kooks push those gains even higher, but they require more complex installation work, and they typically need a custom tune to run properly. Now let's be honest about cold air intakes, because the marketing doesn't match reality. Number 9. The cold air intake truth. Cold air intakes are popular in the Ram community, but the advertised gains don't always match reality on the dyno. On a completely stock Hemi with no other modifications, expect 5 to 15 horsepower from a cold air intake. That gain is real and measurable, but nowhere near the 50 horsepower some companies slap on their marketing materials. The real value of a cold air intake shows up when paired with headers, exhaust upgrades, and a custom tune. The intake removes an airflow restriction that those other modifications expose. Think of it as one piece of a performance system, rather than a standalone power adder. S&B filters and AFE Momentum GT are the 2 most recommended intake systems across Ram forums. Both run around $300 to $400 installed. If this video is helping, hit subscribe. New Ram maintenance and performance tips drop every week. Now let's talk about fuel economy tricks that actually move the needle on the gas gauge. Number 10, the ethanol-free advantage. Most gasoline at the pump contains 10% ethanol, labeled E10 on the sticker. Ethanol contains less energy per gallon than pure gasoline, so the Hemi burns more fuel to produce the same power. Switching to ethanol-free fuel at the pump, sometimes called E0 or recreational fuel, produced 1.5 to 3.6 miles per gallon improvement in real-world driving tests. Here's the math that surprised me. One owner calculated that E0, 91 octane, at $4 per gallon, averaging 16.8 miles per gallon, cost him 23 cents per mile. Standard E10, 87 octane, at $3.30 per gallon, averaging 13.2 miles per gallon, cost 25 cents per mile. The more expensive fuel at the pump was actually cheaper to drive on. Number 11, the tonneau cover test. The team at TFL Truck ran a controlled 57-mile highway test and measured a 1.6 miles per gallon improvement with a tonneau cover installed versus an open bed. That's a 7.7% fuel economy gain just from smoothing airflow over the bed of the truck. Soft roll-up tonneau covers provide the best value since they weigh less than hard folding covers. The fuel savings compound over thousands of highway miles, and many owners report the cover paying for itself within 2 years of regular driving. Number 12, keep the AIR dam. That plastic air dam panel hanging below the front bumper looks ugly, and it scrapes on every parking block and driveway. Most lifted truck owners rip it off within the first week of ownership. But careful fuel economy testing shows a loss of about 0.7 miles per gallon at highway speeds when the air dam is removed. The 5th generation Ram's active air dam and active grille shutters, working together, reduce aerodynamic drag by approximately 7% at highway speeds. For trucks running aggressive lifts, where the aerodynamic profile is already disrupted, the fuel economy loss from removing the air dam is smaller. But Rams sitting near stock ride height get real value from that ugly plastic panel at the fuel pump. Now let's talk about protecting engine internals with a $100 upgrade. Number 13, the $100 carbon preventer. The Hemi's PCV system recirculates crankcase blow-by gases back through the intake manifold. Those gases carry oil vapor that coats the throttle body and intake valves with sticky carbon sludge over time. One Ram owner pulled his intake manifold at 50,000 miles and found a 1/4 pound of carbon buildup caked inside. An oil catch can intercept that oil vapor before it reaches the intake system. Billet Technology makes a quality catch can for about $100 with mounting hardware and hoses included. Mishimoto offers a direct fit option for the Hemi at $150 to $200. Even the factory Mopar oil separator part works fine. Empty the catch can every 3,000 to 5,000 miles and expect 2 to 7 ounces of nasty oil that would otherwise be coating engine internals. Number 14, the 16 spark plugs secret. Here is something mechanics love. Every Hemi engine uses 2 spark plugs per cylinder, which is 16 plugs total, and shops charge $400 to $500 for a spark plug service. Knowing most Ram owners have no idea what is actually involved. The job takes about an hour with basic hand tools in the garage. A set of 16 spark plugs costs $50 to $80. Apply a small amount of anti-seize compound to the threads since the plugs thread into aluminum cylinder heads. Torque each plug to exactly 15 pound-feet to avoid stripping those soft aluminum threads. Always work on a completely cool engine. Spray compressed air into each spark plug well before removal to blow out any debris that could fall into the combustion chamber. That $400 dealer service just became a Saturday morning garage project. Number 15, preventing the manifold bolt disaster. The 5.7 Hemi bolts cast iron exhaust manifolds to aluminum cylinder heads using steel bolts. That creates 3 different metals with 3 different thermal expansion rates, all bolted together and cycling through extreme heat every time the engine runs. The result shows up as broken bolt heads stuck in the aluminum cylinder head. Those exhaust manifold bolts snap off, usually on the rear cylinders 7 and 8, which run the hottest. They typically fail between 30,000 and 80,000 miles. An exhaust leak, a ticking sound, develops, and it gets louder when the engine is cold. The permanent fix is aftermarket shorty headers made from stainless steel with matching expansion rates. The budget fix involves machining the manifold flanges flat on a belt sander, installing flexible Remflex graphite gaskets using new grade 8 bolts, and torquing from the center outward to 18 to 20 pound-feet. Forum members have run this budget repair past 300,000 miles without the bolts breaking again. Number 16. The $260 ride transformation. Bilstein 5100 series shocks are the single most recommended suspension upgrade across every Ram truck forum. The front coilover struts offer adjustable ride height settings at 0 inches, 1.4 inches, 2.1 inches, and 2.8 inches of lift. The 2.1-inch setting eliminates that annoying factory nose-down rake while maintaining essentially stock ride and handling characteristics. The Ram finally sits level without expensive leveling kits or pucks. A complete set of 4 Bilstein 5100s costs $260 to $350 on sale. That price matches or beats the ride quality of factory Ram off-road packages that cost thousands more at the dealer window sticker. Leveling above 2 inches total means upgrading upper control arms at the same time to prevent ball joint binding issues. Number 17. The extended warranty timing hack. Dealers push extended warranty packages hard during the financing process because that is when buyers are exhausted, excited about the new Ram, and most likely to say yes without researching prices. What the finance manager will not mention is that the exact same Mopar vehicle protection plan can be purchased anytime within 3 years or 36,000 miles of the original factory warranty start date. That breathing room gives you time to research coverage levels, compare prices across different sellers, and buy from online warranty brokers that offer the same Mopar coverage for significantly less money. Even better, warranties bought at the dealer can be canceled within 30 days for a full refund with no penalty. That dealer's $1,000 markup just became completely optional. Those are 17 tricks that Ram dealers, mechanics, and Stellantis hope nobody ever discovers. Every single one either saves money on repairs, protects the engine from expensive failures, or unlocks features already paid for at the dealership. The video on screen now covers which Ram maintenance mistakes destroy engines fastest.